I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Okay, I've thought of a fun game for us to play.
We love a game.
We do. Right. I am giving you a budget of £10,000.
It's a good amount.
Yeah, I thought it was quite generous.
Do a lot with that. Yeah.
Yep. But you're not allowed a British car or an EV.
Okay, well, you can't get much of an EV for 10 grand, so that's not too much of an issue.
No, I suppose you're just going to get a ropey Leaf.
You're going to get a very early Leaf that'll do about 30 miles if you're lucky. So that's not too much of a challenge. That isn't, at least at the moment, enough to buy an EV. No. So that's okay. Not buying British, yeah.
That's going to bother you, that is.
That's going to bother. I can't have a Jag.
No Jags, no Astons.
But I love a Jag.
Oh, dear. But with that in mind, I'm not allowed anything German or Japanese.
Oh, no Porsches for you, chap, but that's no good. No.
So
okay. I think actually nothing German and nothing Japanese. That rules out a lot.
That's a kick in the nuts, that is.
That's quite... You've removed our go-to cars there.
Oh, that's it, because it would have been, well, I'll have a Cayman. Oh, no, I can't have one of those. I'll have an Impreza. Oh, no, I can't have one of those.
It would have been a very short topic. Yeah,
all done. Yeah,
yes, we'd have just had an Impreza and an XJ, and that would have been that.
That's it, all done.
Well, it's easy. So you need to come up with something more challenging, and you have.
Yes, that's why I put a slight caveat on it for you.
No, I like that. That's very good. Well, you can do a lot with 10 grand. There's a lot around for that money. In fact, you can get something reasonably modern for that. And presumably you're not specifying any kind of age range. It could be a classic or it could be something up to date.
Exactly that. I won't reveal any of my list yet, but I will say none of them are... Nothing goes past the 90s. That is the youngest car, that I've got on my list.
Yes, I'm about the same. I wouldn't describe any of them as classics. A few of them would definitely be termed modern classics. A couple of them you'd probably term classics in the making. They're still relatively cheap, but opinion seems to be that they are in not too distant future going to rocket up. People will suddenly on to what they are.
Are we about to dish out advice here as well?
Well, we try not to, because
no.
But keep that under your hat.
Yeah, but it's all about saying it with confidence. So that's
it is.
Fine. Yeah. How many made it onto your list?
Let me have a count. I've got 7.
Oh, snap.
Okay. That's slightly spooky. Yeah, I've got 7, and they are all, with the exception of one, very kind of real world obtainable. You could run one of these quite happily. Well, maybe not quite happily in a couple of cases, actually, in quite a lot of pain.
Okay,
in a couple of cases.
Mine are a bit, potentially fragile.
Yeah, a couple of mine are. Yeah, a couple of mine are, actually, thinking about it. One of them particularly could be ruinous. Yes, you can buy one for less than £10,000, but I'm not sure you can run it for less than £10,000.
Well, that wasn't in the caveat. So
you didn't specify that. No, you haven't got into reliability or tax bans or anything like that.
No. We'll just make the assumption that you can afford to run whatever you buy for your 10 grand.
Yes, that's. We won't deal with what you have to do once you've got it. That'll be the subject of another podcast, perhaps.
Oh, that'll be the one when one of us actually buys one of these.
Yeah. Well, yes. It's not impossible, is it? It's not impossible. That is not an unobtainable budget. So
no, that's it. Bit of drunk eBay and away you go.
Oh well, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all been there. We all think, this will be all right.
Yes. My poor uncle knew that once. He was he likes playing the saxophone, and he came in utterly pissed and bid on lots of saxophones and won lots of them.
Oh no! Oh dear!
My aunt was not best pleased.
No, you got a whole room full of them.
Oh dear, silly boy. But there we
Late
go.
night eBay is dangerous.
Yeah, let that be a lesson to you.
It's too easy. Yes, next time I'm shopping for saxophones, I'll be careful.
Yeah, you be easy on that bid button.
Yes.
Right, go on then. Without further ado.
Without further ado,
and in no particular order, what's first on your list?
These are not in any particular order. The first on my list, you might say, is reasonably sensible, actually, because I started off fairly realistic and then got more and more outlandish as I went along. So the first on my list, and of course I can choose German.
You've got spoilt for choice.
I'm spoilt for choice. I went for a BMW 5 Series Touring, and for that budget, you can get some quite tidy M Sport models, 2011, 2012, even. You can
bloody hell
get reasonably modern, not silly mileage in most cases. I mean, over 100,000 in a lot of them, but I mean, it's a 5 Series BMW, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. And yeah, 535 M Sport Touring, you can get some quite nice ones, and relatively, as I say, 2011, 2012 vintage.
Well, you've just pissed me off in the first one there, haven't you? Good
Gone
heavens.
in hard with that. Gone in hard with that one.
Oh, yes. A BMW Touring with M Sport pack.
Yeah.
6-cylinder engine. Oh, good.
And when I say within budget, I mean actually well within budget. You can get quite tidy ones for 5-6 grand now.
Oh, dear. I'm trying to fault you on that, but struggling. Oh, no, hang on. They've got those annoying indicator stalks.
Are they the ones? Because the Beamers I've driven of that era, they were supposed to be self-canceling, but weren't. And you could, if you tried to flick them the other way, they would actually start indicating the other way. They were really sensitive.
Yeah, because
they cancel it and you end up indicating in the other direction.
That's right, because you flick them and they automatically return to center on the stalk.
Yes.
It's not like a traditional stalk where you
That's right, but it keeps indicating.
That's right.
So you try and cancel it by flicking it the other way, and you just end up indicating in the opposite direction, which is really dangerous.
And it is, and the person behind you just says, "Oh, bell end."
Well, anyone who's driven a BMW of that vintage and sees that happening will understand. They say, "Oh, he was trying to cancel it. That's why he's indicating to suddenly shoot across 3 lanes of traffic." Although you're in a BMW M Sport, so it's entirely possible that is your intention, but of course you wouldn't indicate. So
no, that's it. I mean, that is how you join a motorway in a BMW M Sport.
It's
slip road, fast lane.
You just go for straight from the slip road to the fast lane in one swift maneuver. Yes.
Oh dear! Oh, splendid choice.
Sad but true. So I have looked at those quite seriously at several points in the past to buy one, because it's well within budget. You wouldn't have to spend 10 grand. You wouldn't have to spend anywhere near 10 grand to achieve that. But then I always get seduced by, oh yeah, but I could have a Jag.
I mean, yeah, you could. And yes, you commented on the M Sport pack, and yes, it's all very nice. And if you want to chuck it about, it's great. But on a long journey, the suspension does grate a bit.
Yeah, I think over time that would, for me, I think it would become tiresome to live with. And of course, it's very German.
It's terribly efficient, yeah.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of character to it, is there? It's very, very good at what it does, and it's like, I think they said this on Top Gear once, but it's absolutely true. It's like going to Germany. Everything's very clean, everything's very tidy, everything's very efficient, but there's no soul to it. You don't. I think it was James May who said you get home from a week in Munich, and you don't think, "Oh, I wish I was still in Munich," even though
No.
everything worked perfectly and you had no problems, and everything worked. It was all very efficient, all very clean. But you don't miss it when you're not there. And I have horrible
No.
feeling that owning one of those would be like that you just think, well, yeah, it's very
Okay.
good at what it does, but I kind of, it's a little bit soulless.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Mind you, I tell you what, the one and only time I've been to Germany, I arrived at the hotel and asked the lady behind the desk what time the bar shut, and she said something that made me really like Germany. She went, "It's 24 hours. You're in Germany now."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, that just sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That is it. That's Germany in one sentence.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, and it's that. I think that's what the BMW would say if you asked it a question. I think that's that's that attitude is what's behind it. It's beautifully engineered and very good at what it does, and I absolutely get why people love them. But for me, it's the flaws in a car that give it its character. See, with most Jaguars, I've always felt they were not really good enough to be competing in the markets that they were competing in. But that's what makes me really like them. The fact that they're the underdog. They're really trying to compete with the Germans, and for the most part, they're not. Certainly with the older ones, they weren't really up to it, to be honest.
I know what
I
you
like
mean.
that. It's the flaws that give it the character, and that's what I like about it. That's why I've had Jags and will have more Jags. It's the fact that they're flawed. They're not quite good enough. That's what I love about them.
And rightly so.
Yeah. And although I would, if somebody gave me a BMW, I would love it and I would defend it every day. But I've never quite been able to bring myself to buy one with money. So,
The desire is not there for you.
not really, no. But an excellent car that would tick many boxes and is well within budget. And I was amazed that you can get M Sports within that budget, but you can. I mean, I'm looking now at 2012 520 M Sport Touring. I mean, that's quite an up to date car.
Well, that's going to have all the toys, isn't it?
All the toys. It's in metallic grey. It's got the black pack. It's got the big alloys. Sat nav, iDrive, all the bits on that.
Yeah, that'll do.
So yes, it's a obvious, sort of obvious place to start. But I've looked at them a lot over the years and thought, well, yeah, 5 Series estate would that'd be nice. And then I look at some more Jags, and that's the end.
Yeah, then that's it. And it all goes
They
back
all
to
go
the
away.
happy place.
Yeah, that's right. So that was my first choice. How are we going to do this? Am I going to do all mine and then you're going to do all yours, or are we going to alternate?
Let's alternate, because I mean, just couldn't be further from yours, to be honest.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
If we both chose the same 7 cars, this is going to be very boring.
It is, but yeah, as follow-ups go to a reasonably modern 5 Series touring, the first car on my list is a Renault 4.
Oh, blimey! I didn't see that coming. Truth.
I really like them, and I thought, I'll have a look, and yeah, they are surprisingly attainable within 10 grand and some change.
I'm sort of not surprised by that, although I'd have thought they're getting quite rare now.
There's
Well,
more choice than I was expecting,
didn't they? Yeah, they built millions of them and in lots of different variants.
Yeah.
Do you know there's an EV version coming?
I'm sure I saw an article and a sketch.
They've teased a Renault 4 EV and even more teased the Renault 5 EV.
Yes, I remember that one.
They're going to do the Renault 5 EV, but they have teased that there may be a Renault 4 EV as well. Yeah.
Oh, now that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I will just furnish you with
Oh yes, please. I'm sure I saw it at the time, but I would happily
I'm
be
sure
refreshed.
you did.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. However, that's not the one we're talking about.
It's not.
You're talking about an original.
I am, and I love its simplicity. I quite like the styling as well.
If
It's
you want to
something.
travel across a ploughed field with a basket full of eggs, there's nothing better. Yeah.
Well, this is, mind you, that was more the 2CV.
Yes, I know it was, but they were all based on the same principle.
They were like, yeah, you could bob along a field in a Renault 4, but it's just so simple. It's the French seem to have got this down. That sort of car.
Yes, as James May said, the peasant's car.
Mm. Yeah, well, but it's so much charm about it. Love it. Is it just such a good thing? Just beautifully styled, mechanically simple.
Yeah, I get that. You could fix it with a hammer and a piece of string, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to admit I'm struggling a little bit with that one.
That's all right. It's my list. If I buy one, I'll give you a lift in it, but that's about your lot.
Okay, well, let me know so I can get the disguise ready.
Oh dear, no.
Oh.
Just joking aside, you'd want to have a little go in that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would actually.
There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
would, just for the experience of that. Yeah,
Mm.
I do. Yeah, I do understand. Like you say, simplicity. It's quite a clever piece of packaging, actually, isn't it? Because it's not a big car, but you get 4 or 5 people in that, room for luggage.
Mm.
Kind of go anywhere with that. Yeah, quite rugged in its way,
but possibly more comfy than the 5 Series.
yes. I'm sure it is.
The suspension's a tad more forgiving.
Yes, no run flat tires on that. No. No, indeed not. Yes, yes, you're quite right. It would be more comfortable. Yeah, that's I didn't see that coming.
Did you not? Okay,
I did not. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I've had to go completely off piste, particularly for the no German. I'm like, honestly, I'd foraging around trying to think of good
And you've
ideas.
gone French. That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, an uncomplicated French car.
Yes, not a modern French car, because that's where the problems start.
Yeah, I mean, we could all just go and buy a Citroen C6. And yes, go. Looks lovely, really nice.
Yeah, you
Does it work?
You don't ever want to move it, though, do you?
No, because obviously, at any point you go near that, you go, well, it's got electrical fault.
Yes. Yeah, constantly. Yes. And no sooner do you fix it, it'll develop another one.
No, that's it. I mean, it basically is an electrical fault.
It's a huge moving electrical fault.
So, yes. No, I've tried to steer clear of that and think. And again, as well, there was a moment where I thought, Citroen BX. And I thought, no, it's just going to go wrong.
Yeah, BX. Yeah, there's a lot to love about the BX. Yeah, I love how they look. I think the styling of them is absolutely tremendous. But yeah, you wouldn't want to try and actually drive one.
No, I don't think it would be happy ownership.
No, I don't think I think your £10,000 purchase budget would soon become a distant memory. Yes.
Yeah, but whereas I think a Renault 4 would be a non-stop grin on your face.
It probably would, actually, especially going around a small roundabout.
Oh yeah,
you could.
How much can I tip this over without actually tipping over?
You could door handle that very easily.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see. It wasn't a Renault 4. I think it was a Citroen AX. I saw one going round a roundabout once, very fast, and it was a roundabout on a hill. So, and as he got to the bottom, it was leaning so much and he was going so fast that the front bumper on one corner was actually scraping the road. He was filing it off as he went round.
It was a committed bit of roundabout usage.
Oh, absolutely.
Fair play.
With his skinny little tyres there and his racy little engine. Yes.
Oh, there's a lot to be said for that.
There is. It's very French.
It is.
Very French. That's a really interesting choice. I like that.
I'm happy with that.
That's a really interesting choice.
Okay, then.
Now, again, my second choice could not be more different.
Oh, splendid.
My second choice is we're more modern again, and again, this is something that I think is a car that will become a modern classic, and it's something I have seriously considered at a number of points.
Okay,
and again, well within budget. A Mondeo ST220 Estate. Absolutely well within budget. So you've got some money left over to de-chav it, because obviously you need a budget for that.
Oh, it will have been fingered in its life.
Oh, yes, it will. I mean, not as bad as the saloon would have been.
No.
But the Estate, you need to take off the ridiculous suspension and put some original alloy wheels back on it and all the sorts of things that you will have to do. And get that funny smell out of the interior and things like that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
No, that is... that's it. It's a fast Ford. It's a fast Estate. It's all many boxes being ticked in one go.
Many boxes. I've looked at those seriously on a number of occasions because I like a fast Ford. Well, who doesn't like a fast Ford? And an Estate as well. The Mondeo is such a practical car, but it's got that banging engine underneath it. Yeah, I would. You've got quite a lot of choice for that budget. You could get actually quite a nice one for that budget.
You really could.
5-6 grand. You could get a bit of a Minter, 2004, 2005.
Just lovely though that.
Yeah, I've seriously considered that on a number of occasions.
It's such a classless car as well.
It is, isn't it? It is. You could do anything with that.
That's a strong consideration. That makes you want to go and have a little browse on eBay. That
I know. Well, I did earlier and thought, oh, bum. Oh, I really fancy one of those now. Because you can't go wrong with it, and it's a Ford. It will not be expensive to keep going. It will be, because the Mondeos of that vintage were really well put together. It drives incredibly well, and it's an estate car. It's a Mondeo Estate. It's got all the room in the world in the back. Yeah, it's one of those cars that, as you say, you do anything with that. Yeah, you do absolutely anything with that. It really is all things to all men, that car.
I'm thinking from a personal perspective, that is perfect for the Le Mans trip.
Oh, isn't it? Oh, isn't it?
No,
it was made for that. Oh, we'll club together and buy one.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go halves on them.
But
yes.
Yeah, let's do that then. Let's just
that's that sorted then.
In European road trip in that. Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, that's two in a row there. Can't fault it.
Nailed both of those. I mean, they're sort of fulfill the same brief, I guess, but
very different angles though.
Very different angles. The Mondeo I think the Mondeo is a more intelligent choice actually than the Beamer. It's become a bit of an alternative car, the Mondeo, will certainly continue to be now that they've discontinued it. I think, which is a terrible shame. I've always liked the Mondeo. I remember I drove a Mark I Mondeo not long after they first came out, and was really impressed with it. The driving position was lovely, incredibly comfortable. Went well. It was, I really liked it. I've driven several Mondeos over the years, and I could, it's a strong contender, that one, as you say.
Yeah, that really is just a car that would achieve, and I think one of those on the driveway is really quite a good idea.
Yeah, I know. It's dangerous, that one, because
Yeah.
they are. I mean, I say it's within the 10 grand budget. It's well within the 10 grand budget.
It is, and I'm wondering whether they're at a point now where they'd probably not lose any more value.
Possibly not. I mean, you can get slightly rough ones for about 1,500, but I would suggest you maybe want to spend a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But and some of them don't have massive mileage on them.
No, I mean it's not your average Retmobile, is it? So
It's not. But again, even a high miler, I don't think is likely to be a load of trouble. And if it does have some issues, they're not going to be expensive to sort out.
no, I mean as long as you got a bit of paperwork to go with it, you're all right, really.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's there.
I think it is. I think yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. You could do a lot with that.
You could. Oh, yeah, lovely choice.
Mm.
Oh,
So
right.
where are you taking us next then?
Right, we're miles away again.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, honestly, this. Oh, right. Okay, it's a Fiat 124 Spider,
Ooh,
as in an original one, not
yeah.
the MX-5.
No, don't do that. No, indeed. 124 Spider. Interesting.
Yes,
Interesting.
very much European spec. I don't want none of your stupid bumpers that they put on the American
No,
ones.
you don't want an American one. No, they ruin cars like that. Or
They did. They gave it
They
a
did,
colossal
yeah.
chin and a ride height that would just looked like it was on stilts.
They jack them up in the air. They make them put huge, big rubber bumpers on them, and they did it to the Jag XJS. They did it to the MGB. They did it to the Alfa Romeo Spider.
It
Loads
just
of
ruined
cars. Yeah, Mercedes SL had it done. I think even the 911 had it done to it.
Oh yeah, it had horrific overrider things on the bumper.
Yeah,
you
front
just
and
think,
back. It just, what are you doing?
It's all in the interest of safety in a country where you can go and buy many guns at the supermarket.
Yes, because a big rubber bumper on the back will stop a bullet. That'll be fine. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is yeah, that's a spectacular choice. I mean, they are lovely looking things.
Just a pretty little car, that.
Pretty little car. Again, possibly you'll spend more time looking at it than driving it, but
it's just it's small. It looks nice. It doesn't weigh very much. It's got an engine that just sounds brilliant because they've got those 4-cylinder twin cams. Oh, just yes.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Nice bit of Italian chic with that. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I can understand that. I could get on board with that. That's nice. That is nice.
Yeah, that's just one of those ones. You know, have a little cruise in that. But I think it would be quite chuckable as well. You're not going to go very fast, but I think it will be a nice driving experience.
You don't need to, do you? Yeah. Yeah, I could see that working. That's quite an alternative choice, isn't it? It's not the obvious.
No, it's a bit different. I think size-wise and the size of me, I think if I did get one, I could sit in it and not look like a noddy car. I think the proportions.
You've got to be very careful with that, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it. I think height-wise on me, I think I'd probably be all right. So
what is it they say? Never sit in a car that you are taller than it is long.
Yeah. Yes, that. No, yes. I think I'm just about all right. So
because you would look like a prize tit if you did that.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
If you peer over the windscreen.
Do you remember in the last episode of Top Gear when Jeremy, James, and Richard were on it? The episode where they cobbled two pieces of film together after Jeremy's indiscretion.
Yes, and they did a film with 3 classic sports cars, didn't they?
Yes, and Jeremy had a 124 Spider in that.
Did, but it had been Americanized.
It had, and he did exactly what you should do. Just get the bumpers off it.
Yeah.
Get them
lower
gone.
it.
Yeah, put it on some proper springs.
Put it back on its proper wheels. Yes, and he
Oh,
sorted
he
it
did the
right out.
Matte Black bonnet as well, because that was the nod to the Arbath Rally one that they
Yes,
did.
he did, and he put the spotlights on the front. Yeah,
Yep.
yes,
Good
that's
choice.
he sorted that right out, didn't he?
Mm.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I remember that. That was a good film. It
Mm.
was a good film. Interesting choice there. Very interesting
Yeah, I
choice.
thought you'd like that.
Yeah, very interesting choice. My next one is not actually dissimilar to that.
Okay. Oh, good. This is
Um,
interesting.
this is interesting. Although I've gone Japanese, which you were not allowed to
Oh,
do.
you bastard.
Yes, I've gone German and Japanese. I'm sorry. And I have gone Honda S2000.
Shit, I like those.
Yeah, I knew you'd enjoy that.
Oh, the
Now
high revving gloriousness.
they're not all within budget, but you can get them within budget.
Mm.
You can get some fairly decent ones within budget. Again, some of them are a bit high on the miles, but some aren't. You can get 2003, 2004 one with maybe 60, 70,000 on it. The 2-liter VTEC
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
So
Well, don't they rev
yeah,
to like 9,000?
something like
I
that.
think,
Yeah,
oh,
something like
just
that.
wonderful.
Yeah. So you'd have to pick your one because you can't get. They do stretch to beyond this budget,
Mm.
but there are some within it. So you'd have to pick your choice. Unlike my other two that are well within budget, this one you'd have to be careful, but they are available for less than 10. And again, you've also got to be careful and not get one that's been messed about with, because
But
some have been.
yeah,
But
but if you find one like that, it's a Honda. It's going to work.
quite, it will work and keep working.
Mm.
Yes, that's right. It's going to be. Yeah, you're not going to have to spend much on keeping that going. Certainly.
No, I did recall actually my Civic, which they had the 1.8 VTEC in
Hmm.
that was quite thirsty. If
Yeah.
you rev the nuts off it, which those engines really enjoyed, you could watch the petrol gauge move
Yeah.
because it came alive at 6,000. But if you drive everywhere like that, you're not going to have any petrol left.
No, absolutely. Interesting.
But
But
I
yeah,
think it's just perfect, isn't it? It's just front engined, high revving, lovely engine, rear wheel drive.
it's got it all, hasn't it? It's got
Oh
it all.
dear.
The classic British sports car layout. Long bonnet, stubby little boot,
Mm.
2 seats, off you go.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So as I say, you'd have to pick your one carefully because there are a lot that are a lot more expensive than we're talking about. But they are available for that
Christ.
price.
Well, what is that? That's 3 from 3, which I want all of those so far.
You want all of them so far?
Yep.
Yes. Well, let's see if we can break that as we go along.
Okay. Right. Well, I think my third one might entice you actually.
Okay. Yeah. You might be right.
Yeah. So I've gone for and I was surprised how many were available in the 10 grand budget actually.
Okay.
A Saab 900 Turbo.
Oh. Oh dear. Yeah. 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 The force is quite strong with that. Yeah.
Properly good styling.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's timeless.
It is.
Absolutely
I mean,
timeless.
everyone would assume you're an architect, but
Yes. Oh, absolutely. But you could wear black polo necks and nobody would say a word.
no, that's it. Yeah, and frameless glasses.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And be very quiet. Yes. Yes. Indeed.
But
Yes, perfect. God,
but
there's a lot for that money, isn't there?
I
You can almost pick your color.
know.
Convertible, 3-door, 5-door. My word, I'm amazed. I never even thought to look for one of those because I'd assumed they'd have gone bonkers by now.
No, after a bit of browsing, I just stumbled into the Saab section. And went, wow, I could have
True.
one.
My God, you could.
Yeah, I think it's 3-door coupe.
Oh dear. Yeah. Oh, you might have done a bad thing there.
Mm.
Oh, that would butter many parsnips.
It would, and everyone would. No one would bat an eyelid, but you would get a knowing nod as well at the same time.
Yeah, you would. The
Mm.
people who know about that would know.
Mm. Yeah, and
That's
it's not in your face. It's not ostentatious. It's just
not in any way.
No,
Not in
it's
any
just
way.
brilliant.
Oh my word! I'm staggered by how many there are available.
I know,
For that,
absolutely crazy.
for well within that budget.
Mm.
In fact, newer ones as well.
Yeah.
Later models, but certainly the 900. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the one we all know and love. That's the one we'd all buy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we might look at some of the others, but that's the one we'd want. Yes. With its big sticky out nose and
Yeah.
oh dear, look at that. Oh, I've gone all unnecessary now. Yes.
And there are enough. I even went a bit further. There are enough specialists out there willing to deal with them, and
Oh yeah,
and there's plenty of. There seems to be a reasonable source of parts. I think it's a sensible choice at this point.
Oh, don't say that. Oh no.
Oh, that's a bit of you, isn't it?
Oh, I never thought of that. Oh God, I hate you.
Oh, just tremendous.
I never thought of that. I never assumed they would be. Well, I would have thought they'd have gone into the stratosphere by now.
Yeah, I would. If you'd have asked me without me doing any prior research, I would have probably said 25 grand off the cuff.
I was going to say I would have said 25 or 30 grand by now for one of those. Absolutely, I'd have said that would have gone by now. I'm amazed. Why are they so cheap? That's insane.
Well,
people haven't cottoned on to that yet. That's
one each then.
That's not right. Well, we bloody couldn't we? At these prices? Oh dear. Right. Yes. Okay. You've caused me an issue there.
Good. Oh dear.
Oh, dear. Right. So we got one of those and a Mondeo ST220 so far.
Oh God. Time to clear out the driveway.
I think it might be. Oh dear. This is a really dangerous game for us to be playing. We're in Ouija board territory here.
Oh,
the things you should never do.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh dear. Right.
Don't look. You don't know what you'll find. Right. Okay.
Go on then.
Okay.
Lead us on before you get too excited.
I'm leaving that tab open.
I bet you are.
I bet I am. Right. My next choice actually is sort of in the same ballpark as that, in that it was, well, I suppose still is, a very, very popular car, but is now, and I think certain models will become a classic, and that's the Golf GTI.
Bastard.
Again, you can almost pick your color on that front, and you can pick from a number of different models. You've got to be careful and not have one that's been knocked around with. But it is even possible to get Mark 1s within that budget.
Oh dear. I mean, I think if it were me, I'd go Mark 2.
I think I'd go Mark 2. I preferred the look of the Mark 2, a little bit chunkier. Yes, I always like the Mark 2. And Mark 2s are available around the 6-7 grand mark now. Some of the later ones, which weren't so good, are cheaper than that.
Oh yeah, but yeah, the 3s and 4s they can sort of
3s and 4s, you can pick those up for a few £100 now. So I wouldn't advise that. Yeah, you can get Mark 2s. Again, if you're careful, you'd have to pick the right one, because some of them. The problem with the Golf GTI is that some of them do have galactic mileage on them, and some of the GTIs do tend to have been a bit thrashed.
Well, yeah,
you'd have to pick the right one, but they do range from absolutely mint to I'm amazed that's still held together. and the prices accordingly. So
Okay, so you probably
big range there. That would require a lot of research.
I suppose a sort of sweet spot would be one that if you're not too worried about the mileage, but there's got a bit of paperwork to accompany it to show that at least it's been looked after while it's been driving to the moon and back.
Yes, it's had all its services and what has it been used for and where has it been living and all those sorts of questions. Yeah, absolutely. If it's mainly motorway mileage, then high mileage is not so much of a concern. That kind of thing. But there's a lot of them have been messed with. A lot of them have been slammed to the floor, have had weird alloys put on them. They've been stanced. They've got all the weird camber stuff going on, which I've never understood. And blue headlights and all that kind of stuff. So you'd have to be careful. You'd have to be quite picky, I think.
Some tat out there, I bet.
Yeah. Oh, there is. There's some. Yeah, there is. There's some that have been absolutely ruined, but if you were careful, I did consider a Golf GTI for quite a while at one point. I think it would have been the Mark V that I was considering.
Oh, I did like a 5.
Yeah. But they were a little out of budget at the time.
Was that around Mini time?
It was after the Mini. Then I eventually ended up with the X-Type. So I went in a very different direction, as you can see, because a child arrived.
These things do happen.
These things do happen, and there's a whole automotive story around that as well. No, not like that.
Okay.
No, he wasn't conceived in the back of a Jaguar X-Type. Nothing like that. No. I was considering a Golf GTI to replace the Mini.
Okay.
And at that time, it was the Mark V. And I even went and test drove one, but I actually found it a little bit disappointing.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah, I didn't like the interior, and I didn't think it went as well as I thought it would. I don't know, maybe it was just the one I drove. And I really didn't take to the salesman that I was dealing with at the time either, so that probably didn't help.
No,
Grotty.
There's plenty of them about.
Yes. So I didn't do that. But I remember on that, whilst I was test driving the Golf, I remember I clocked a Jaguar XF, and it was that moment I thought, "Ooh, a Jag," and that's where it started.
Yeah. Just pull over and I'll get out.
Yeah. Well, look at. Oh, never mind this. I could have one of those. Look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. It's all right. You all right to take it back?
Yeah, it's fine. No, that's fine. Well, if it was our local VW dealership, I entirely understand. So.
It was. Yes,
okay, then.
It was. Yep. That did not go very far at all.
Nice.
He put me so off VW that that was kind of the end of it, really. And as it's turned out, maybe that was for the best. I don't know, but a Mark V GTI, if we're going to be specific, would probably be what I would go for. Although the Mark II does have a certain something as well.
Yeah, I think one of those in red, and I'm happy.
I think you'd be there with that, wouldn't
you? Yeah, so, but I'm not allowed. It's German. It's not on my list.
It's German. You weren't allowed to choose those. So nope, yeah, that one's in my column. Yeah.
So there you go. That's more envy on my part.
There we go. I'm doing well, yeah.
You are.
I'm just annoying you, which is excellent. Mind you, you've annoyed me with the Saab. So
okay, good.
Getting even. Yes.
Well, okay. I don't know where you're going to land on this one, but the next one on my list is a Lotus Elan M100.
That's specific.
Yeah, basically that's the last of the Elans.
Okay.
The 90s edition.
I'm not a big fan of those, I have to say.
That's all right. We'll let you off.
I would not. No, that doesn't particularly tempt me.
I always enjoyed the styling, that sort of stubbiness about them. Very 90s.
The problem with any Lotus for me, unless it was an Esprit, I'd always thought, I really wanted the Esprit. That's the problem, because I don't drive around pretending to be James Bond.
Yeah.
And then,
it's gonna happen.
It's going to happen. And Bond cars on a budget, maybe a topic we tackle in a future
well, why
episode.
not?
But I get the Elan, but I'm not a big fan of how it looks.
I see. That's the big draw for me, actually.
Okay,
is the styling of it, because I mean you got to think the underpinnings it's a bit weird because it's front wheel drive. It's got an Isuzu engine.
That's right. Yeah,
it's a bit of a weird one, but I don't know. I just like the look of them. I remember having a model when I was younger and thinking, yeah, that's a bit of me.
That can be a big pull for a car, is having a toy version when you were a kid. Yeah.
Well, I must have been a bit later on in life because it was a decent model. It wasn't your average.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't your average. I was definitely still a youth. But
we're not talking Matchbox here.
No, it was a decent model, and I just liked it, and and they're still attainable, and I mean they've got the potential to go silly, I reckon, but
possibly Lotuses are a bit weird like that, aren't they? Because some do and some don't. Like the Esprit has gone a bit silly now, particularly the earlier ones, but which is why it hasn't made my list, because you don't want a 10 grand Esprit.
Oh God, no!
It's going to be a disaster. You'll never be finished with it. But yeah, the Elan is an interesting. It's a bit of a different choice, and again, it's another classic 2-seater sports car shape, isn't it?
It is, and I mean, they came with quite a bit of the sort of 90s styling, because it had, and some of them, I think the exterior color made it onto the as a stripe onto some of the seats or something like that.
Deliberately or by accident at the factory?
Oh God, I think
they haven't masked it off very well.
Oh God, I think they did it on purpose. Oh
yeah. I've seen some cars where the exterior colours made it onto the interior, but that's a slightly different thing.
Oh yeah, that's just someone. Oh shit! No, it's fine. It's fine. No one will notice. It's bright yellow, you tit.
Yeah, all over the black dashboard. Yeah. Oh, I missed a bit on the masking. That there was a little hole in there. It's all gone through. Yes. Interesting choice, and they can be had within budget. I'm impressed. Well, I mean, it's a Lotus. I mean, you're going to be quite cool, aren't you?
Yeah, it's going to have an element of coolness to it, and you can be smug and say, "Well, do you realise I've got the same side lights and indicators as a McLaren F1?"
Yes, because that'll impress people.
Yeah, that comes up a lot. You see?
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if Noble drivers do the same thing with the Mondeo rear lights.
Yeah. They're all
the time. All the time. Yes.
Oh dear.
Interesting choice. That very interesting. It doesn't do it for me, but I can absolutely see why it would do it for others. Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah. No, I didn't know whether you were going to gush over it or not. I didn't know.
No, not that one, I'm afraid. If, as I say, the Esprit does it for me, but that's not something you want to try and fit into that budget.
No, I did. I did actually skim and immediately thought that no, can't do that.
No, there are some within that price, but they are rough. They are going to need a lot of work. Most of them don't run for that price. You're right at the bottom of the market.
No, I'll stick with that, because it's going to be. I mean, but Isuzu mechanicals, it's going to be a bulletproof thing, engine wise, isn't it?
That's a good point. Mechanicals are going to be pretty solid, aren't they? Yes, that's very true.
So it's just you're gonna look quite good, but you're probably not going to go very fast.
No, you're probably not. But it's a Lotus, and that does make it quite cool. Yeah,
most definitely. Time to describe whether we're even close to an Elan with your next choice.
Well, sort of and sort of not.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of and sort of not. I have well, I'll just tell you, shall I?
Yeah.
A Mercedes SL 300.
Oh, for Christ's sake!
I promise I wasn't deliberately picking these.
Right.
Well, we said there were some 90s choices. Now,
Right.
obviously, the 600 is the one that would really get us going, but that ain't happening within 10 grand. So you are looking at a 300, but there's quite a few within that budget, and they're just glorious, aren't they?
They are lovely things again.
And I'm not a big Mercedes fan, but the SL,
Oh, you make an exception for that.
I could make an exception for that. Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
I can understand that. That's just again, isn't it? It's that one. It's a big old long bonnet, roof
Yeah,
down. That's a
I
proper
liked
cruiser.
I like the styling of the mid 90s SL. It was very kind of simple, no nonsense, square headlights, as everything had square headlights then.
Yep.
But I just think I mean, it looked largely the same as the bigger ones. But yeah, the wheels, it was low, sleek, like you say, the long bonnet.
Well, that was it. It was like you say, you were comparing it to some of the bigger ones of that era, but some of them looked a bit lardy. The SL looked really good.
Yeah, it did. Oh, the saloons of that era were a bit fat boy. Yeah. But the SL never suffered from that.
Not at all, no.
They put very unfussy wheels on them as well, which helped. It was all very well chosen, I thought, with that. There was nothing, no frippery, no frills with it. It was kind of the no frills SL.
Yep.
But it did the job, and they were pretty bulletproof by all accounts.
You're going to get a lovely, silky smooth 6-cylinder engine in that, aren't you?
You are. Yes, you are. It's not the V12, but yeah, the 300, you'll get a lot. You'll get a lot for that money. It's quite a lot of car. I mean, I'm looking at them for 6-7 grand.
That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, isn't it? They should be a lot more than that. Again, it's one of those cars I was surprised was within that budget. I thought, well, no, surely not. But they are. There's loads of them.
No, I get that entirely. And dear. I'd have one in a heartbeat.
It's a good price, isn't it? It's a good price for that. Yeah, and again, not a car you'd have to be too concerned about it being high mileage, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
I think you'd be all right with that.
No, I don't think I think mechanically it's probably, relatively uncomplicated. There may be some electrical gubbins, but nothing too drastic on that era, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I've never heard any horror stories about them.
And it's not from their rusty phase, so...
No, it's not. And it's not from their cost-cutting phase.
No, this is true. No.
Everything got a bit crap for a while, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at an absolutely immaculate one here in a deep metallic cherry red. With a cream leather interior. It's done 92,000 miles, and it's on a classified ad for £5,000.
Shit.
Guys, yeah. It's just had a new roof, and that's about it. That's all it needed.
What colour is the roof?
The roof is it's the hard top, so it's the same as the body.
Oh, okay.
So, and it said it's had a new. I don't know why it would have needed a new top, but they say it's had one. But yeah, that's a 2000 and no, it's not. It's what am I talking about? It's a 1993.
Oh dear, I want one of those.
Yeah, I know. It's why I started looking at them and thought, oh, actually, am I overlooking these?
Oh, that's that's another strong contender. That.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes, the R29, R129. That's it. I can never remember all the code numbers. But yeah. It's the trouble with German cars. You end up sounding like such a geek because you have to talk about them all in code numbers.
It's fine. You're in the correct company for that.
Oh, you were all right for that here. Yes, absolutely. But that's the R129.
Yes.
So yes, Couldn't resist that. So that's or is that the third or fourth two-seater convertible we've had on our combined list?
I think it could be. Yeah, we've there's a theme, isn't there?
There is a theme, but my final two are not. So we'll be shifting gear again there.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, my follow-up to your Mercedes is right. My caveat on this is I've got 10 grand to buy the car.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to stump up a little bit of extra on this one to import it, but that's not within the purchase price. So I've skirted around that particular issue, so that's fine.
It is as far as the United States tax collection authorities is, but we'll skim over.
It's from Canada, so it's fine.
Oh, you're all right. Okay. Sorry, I assumed it was coming in from the United States because, by a scary coincidence, one of my final two is also a US import.
Okay.
However, let's hear yours.
Right. I really don't know whether you're going to vomit in your mouth about this or to maybe say, yeah, all right. But I have found for just in budget and not too ropey, a Corvette Stingray.
Oh, that's just pornography. Absolute pornography.
It's just ridiculous. It's a 76.
Within budget, I'm
just within.
I'm staggered.
I mean, it's not pristine, but it's perfectly serviceable.
Well, you didn't specify it had to be running and driving for 10 grand. To be fair.
Oh, this one is. This one's fine.
Wow.
It's quite garish. It's yellow.
Of course, as it should be.
A 76 Corvette Stingray. What's that? It's a C3.
Okay, yeah.
If we're getting specific, so yeah, wow. I thought, why not have a muscle car?
That would slot into North Devon so nicely.
Just imagine going. Just got to get up early one morning to go for a meeting somewhere.
Gonna go and warm her up.
That's it. You just sneak outside the house, be really quiet, shutting the door. Oh dear.
You'd be Mr. Popular, wouldn't you?
I'd say, mind you, you'd say that when we took Ben's Mustang to Le Mans, we had to leave at 4 a.m.
Oh dear, yes, that's the same problem, isn't it? Really,
it's exactly the same problem.
Yes,
it was of that hour in the day where, even though it was the summer, it was quite chilly, so there was quite a lot of churning before it caught.
Oh dear,
and when it
vibrating everybody's front doors.
Yeah, there's the vibrating of it trying to crank, and then when it catches, it sounds like the rapture's coming.
Oh dear.
Yes, aren't we? Popular?
You'd be really popular. Is that so and so in his yellow Corvette again?
Yeah. But
dear. Wow, that's okay. I hadn't really. Well, I say I haven't considered American muscle. That's not actually true. It's just not that kind of American muscle.
Okay.
I did have a brief look at Trans Ams, but but not for that price.
Not good.
Not for that budget. I don't think you're gonna. You'd end up with a world of trouble, I think. And of course, what vintage of Trans Am is also a question, because
it's a minefield.
Do you want to be Michael Knight or do you want to be the Bandit? That's the question you got to ask yourself there.
It depends how much association you want to have with the Hoff at that point, isn't it?
It is really, but then even a bit rough ones are not within that budget. So that was academic, but that's a very interesting choice there. Would you go hardtop or are they a Targa, or I'm not quite sure with those lifting?
I think this one is looking at it's sort of Targa-esque. I think the roof portion comes off.
Okay, like a T-top sort of thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's I don't have a lot of choice. That is the only one I found.
Okay, so you've only just managed to squeeze that in by finding one example that fits our budget.
Yeah, I skimmed around a lot of American muscle cars. I didn't want anything from the 80s. They did nothing for me.
Or not even a Fox Body Mustang.
Oh,
Come
fucking
on.
bloody Fox Body Mustangs. I struggle with the Camaros of that era. I don't mind them, but it's not a Corvette Stingray.
There's something about a Fox Body Mustang. No, it's not a Corvette Stingray. I mean, that's just filth, isn't it? It's just such a lovely shape, and it would make such an annoying noise. I'd hear you coming if you were popping around for the evening. Even though, how far away from me are you? What, 5-6 miles?
Yeah,
something like that. I would hear you start it up. He's on his way.
Yeah, you'd know, get the kettle on. But yeah, they're it's just about attainable. So yeah,
well, that one is
just about.
Okay. Well, I have something that would fit into the American muscle category, which I was going to leave till last, but I feel like I want to slot it in now because it's very much the same theme as your Corvette. This is definitely quintessential American muscle, but in a completely different way, and it's the Ford Crown Victoria.
Oh no, that's you say different way of doing it, but yes,
different type of American muscle. Those are available in the UK within budget. They don't come up that often, but there's usually one or two floating around. There's currently an ex California Police Interceptor on the market for $8,000. And only a few weeks ago, there was a former New York cab on the market for $7,000. Wow! Already in the UK.
How many miles had that done?
Yes, well, quite a few, but maybe not the cab, but certainly if it's been a police car, it will have been meticulously maintained.
Oh yes.
This particular one I'm looking at, it's actually only done 120,000 miles. You don't want one that's been in a city.
No,
you want one that's been out in the country, and this one is from Huntington Beach, so it's not been in LA, although it is a black and white. The bodywork on this one, there's some paint missing and there's some scuffs, but it's in full police livery. It's on the steel wheels. It's got fabric interior. It's still got its ram bar on the front.
Nice.
It's got the spotlights. It's got it all. It doesn't have a light bar on the roof. In fact, I'm not even sure it ever had one. It may have been a slick top, as they call it. But
you soon fit one.
Oh, you should get one of those. Yes, absolutely. No, I wouldn't do that. I would not do a police. I'd just have it painted black, completely flat black, the whole thing.
Oh, you want to pretend to be the FBI?
Yeah, I do. I want to pretend to be Fox Mulder. That's what's going on there. Yes.
You can't touch Scully.
No. Oh, that's a difficult issue for you, isn't it?
It's very difficult.
Yeah. That might cause a punch up if we tried that. Oh dear. Right. Note to self: if we ever have a fancy dress party, Dawn and I need to come as Mulder and Scully. Only we'll do something we didn't expect, and I'll come as Scully.
Oh God.
Ruined.
That would. Oh no.
That'd cure you, wouldn't it?
Oh. Some things you wouldn't be able to unsee, wouldn't
it? Never be able to watch the X-Files again.
Nope. Ruined.
Yeah.
11 series of wonderfulness gone in one instant.
Destroyed in seconds. Anyway, getting back to the car, if we may.
We may.
We may. So we're talking 4.6 litre Ford V8 in an enormous hunk of metal. Incredibly imposing vehicle. It's got such presence, especially over here.
Oh yeah,
because it's massive.
Oh yeah, it doesn't fit here.
No, it really doesn't. But again, the fact that it goes back to our old topic of cars out of their comfort zones, one of those in North Devon would be so ridiculous. You just almost have to do it. But
I'd like to see it happen.
Yeah, it's quite it is on the list. If there was ever an opportunity, that would be quite a thing. Um, I mean, to be fair, really practical. I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
as a family car, it's not silly. It's got plenty of room in it.
It's roomy. I'll certainly give you
It's
that.
very roomy, yes. But yeah, you do that upright. You get one of those in black on the steel wheels. If it's legal to leave the ram bar on the front, that would be lovely. Because the police versions are completely dechromed. It's all black. It's all blacked out, and the black fabric interior. It's
Excellent
lovely.
choice.
And as I say, if you get a police interceptor, it's properly mechanically, at least it's been maintained. You'll have some bodywork issues to deal with, and there will be some. There will potentially be some bits missing from the interior where all the police equipment's been removed. But I've had a check, and there is quite a thriving community in the States for companies making replacement dashboard parts and boot components and things, because people buy these ex-police cars. And a lot of police forces, particularly in California, are now moving on to Teslas. So there's a lot of Crown Vics coming onto the market.
Okay.
And some of them are, if you get a detective's car, it's in pretty good nick. If you get something that's been a marked patrol vehicle, there's going to be a lot of bits missing, and a lot of holes drilled in it. But there is a bit of a community for sorting that out. So you could sort of return it largely to stock, and know you've got a very powerful, well-maintained vehicle, mechanically well-maintained.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
if you don't mind sorting out the cosmetics, and you're almost certainly going to have to budget for a complete respray. But
I don't know. You might want to leave it tatty, to be honest.
You could. I mean, they come over here oftentimes in full police livery. They don't remove all the. They remove the lights and they remove the sirens, and all the radio equipment and the computers and all that stuff. But they often leave all the decals and livery on them. So yeah, you could waft around in your California highway patrol.
Yep, that sounds. Yep, I totally get why you've gone for that.
There's something special about the Crown Vic. I mean, that is the ultimate fast forward.
Oh yeah,
and it's so imposing. It's so, especially over here, they've got such road presence.
And like you say, you can get plenty of mates in that.
Oh yeah, you fill that up with people. Yeah,
practical as you like that.
Absolutely. And if it's been a highway patrol, you've probably got instead of the back seat, they put in this hard plastic sort of bench.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Yeah, so you get your mates on that of a Saturday night, you'll be away. Yeah.
Don't they have that kind of dip in them so that if they're handcuffed behind their back, they don't fully sit on their arms?
That's right. And the mesh, the grill separating the front of the vehicle, and of course in the back, no door handles.
Oh, very good.
It's just a completely plain metal door card. No way to open the window, no way to open the door. You are trapped in there.
Oh dear. No, that'll be fun. Yeah, picking someone up in one of those.
Absolutely.
Okay. Oh dear, what are you going to do to me?
Oh yeah, that could turn nasty, couldn't it?
It could. Oh dear. Very good.
Yes, that was American muscle of a very different sort.
Definitely, but no, I'll get that entirely. Good choice. I'm about to follow that with something wildly different.
Oh, let's go for it. My final one is wildly different to that. So yes.
Yes. So, well, I've still got 2 to go. So you're in for treats here. Yeah. So
unless I've miscounted. Sure.
No, you're all good. Yeah, you've done your 6th. I'm about to do my 6th. So that's all right. Is the Fiat X19.
Oh. Oh yeah, I get that. Yeah, I absolutely get that. The thinking man's TR7.
And it looks better, and it might rust a bit, but lovely things.
Oh, with you all the way with that. That is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not spoilt for choice at 10 grand, but
you never see them.
No. The only time I've seen them in recent times is at the odd sort of car meet or something like that.
Yeah, you see them there, but I can't remember the last time I saw one on the road. But no, I'm absolutely with you on that. That is absolutely incredible. They look amazing.
Oh, well, Bertoni, wasn't it, that styled it?
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Mid-engine treat, just a dainty little thing. I bet they're lovely to drive.
I'm staggered you can get one of those for 10 grand.
Yeah, there's some considerably more, but there
You'd
were
have to be choosy again.
There were a few in budget, and not
lovely.
utterly ropey either.
Come on, pop-up headlights. Oh, well, there it is. What do you need?
No, the one I found one for 8,750, and it was really decent condition.
It's not bad, is it?
No,
it's not bad.
It wasn't even a particularly weird spec. It was really quite nice. It wasn't a left-hand drive import or anything. It was absolutely fine.
Okay.
It was really good.
Nice. That would be a wonderful thing to have and keep, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. You could really enjoy that. Yeah, that's lovely. It's such a classic design, timeless design.
I think buying one at that sort of price, I think you're onto a winner.
I think you probably are.
You're onto an earner.
That's got to go up, surely. Yeah. Oh,
most definitely.
Lovely. That's a really solid choice. Yeah, I like that. That's really good. Yeah.
It doesn't scream practicality, but you're going to have fun.
Not at all, but it's not meant to be, is it? No, that's lovely. They were such a lovely design, weren't they? They just got everything right with it.
It's all the angles, very sharp lines.
Doesn't matter what angle you look at that from, it works.
I tell you what, though, I bet if, like I said, we haven't seen one recently, but you park that next to anything modern, it's going to look like a toy car.
Oh, it is. It's going to be a roller skate, isn't it? Yes, yes, absolutely. Even a modern 911, which is a relatively small car by today's standards, is going to be enormous next to that. Yes, it's going to be tiny, isn't it? Absolutely tiny, but glorious.
Show it a B road.
Oh,
away you go.
The time of your life with that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah,
time of your life with that.
Absolutely lovely. Yeah, so I didn't know which way you were going to go with that, but
yeah, no, I love that. I approve of that. Yeah.
Oh, it just works, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. I could stare at that all day. That's that's lovely. And it's interesting you've chosen something Italian.
Yeah, but
my final choice is Italian.
Oh, go on then. I'm excited here.
My final choice, and again, I was amazed that they are available within this budget, and they're not all, but you can get one within budget. A Maserati Quattroporte.
Oh, really? What vintage are we talking now?
We are talking mid 2000s.
Okay, yep.
So not the original Quattroporte.
No. I know the one you mean.
Yeah,
the one that it's got the headlights that potentially divide people in terms of styling.
Yeah, well, they changed them slightly, didn't they, on the later ones?
They did.
But for this budget, we're not looking at later ones. We're looking at the earlier ones.
But no,
I think the earlier one looks better, personally.
Yeah, I like it as well.
I think they spoiled it a bit. They made the eyes a bit piggy on the later ones.
What sort of price were we looking at? How in budget were they?
They are stretching from bang on 10 down to about 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
Are they ropey?
They don't look bad. They don't look bad, and they're not silly mileage either.
Okay.
Some of them do. They're not cosmetically ropey. A lot of them at that price do need a few things doing. I mean, they're running and driving, but they have a bit of a list of things to be getting on with. Shall we say?
Is there a theme? Is it electrical or anything like that? Is it?
It's. I mean, I've just picked one out here at random, and they've actually put in the advert that it requires a little little TLC. They're saying that what have we got? Yes, we've got a power steering issue. We've got an electric window issue. One of the electric mirrors doesn't move anymore. So yeah, we are generally talking. I mean, in themselves, relatively minor things, but yes, they do tend on this particular one that I've picked out. They tend to be electrical issues. Yes.
Okay, I mean, like you
Let's have a
say,
look at another one. Let's have a look at another one. We've got a 9 grand one here. This one has just undergone a complete respray, which is interesting. Now this one, yeah, this one's not listing any issues.
okay, so
It's been repainted. It's got new tires on it. It's done. What's it done in terms of mileage? They're not saying. That's sneaky.
That's useful.
Yes, it's not actually on the advert at all. But that's
naughty.
a 2009 4.2 in grey. Let's say just been completely resprayed. It's got new tires, black interior. It looks tidy. It looks tidy, and that's on for 9 grand. There's one here that is for bang on 10. This one is a 2007. It's done 92,000 miles. They're describing it as mint for age. Those two words don't go together. You can either have mint or good for its age. You can't after you've said it's mint, you can't then add qualifiers.
No,
That doesn't work. So this is a Maserati Sport GT. It's a 4.2 V8. And what are they saying? They're listing a few things that have been done to it. They're not listing as it having any issues. That one is bang on 10 grand, so it's literally on our budget. But
strong choice.
They are out there. They are
really strong choice.
I have looked at them over the years. My only fear, and it's the obvious fear, is that when it lets go, it's just going to ruin you.
That's it. You've got to run it. That's the problem.
Yeah, you've got to. Oh, this one's black with a tan leather interior.
Oh. Just, I mean, they're half sinister. I like that.
Oh, they are. Everyone's going to think you're an assassin in that.
A little bit of mafia. Lovely.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the mafia's just scoping out the area. Yeah. You've come to collect some protection fees. Yes, absolutely. I mean, in terms of its looks, I mean, it's just glorious, isn't it? But when it lets go, it is going to kick you in the head and run off with your wallet.
Yeah,
you're going to have nothing left.
That's it. Yeah, you're going to take it in for a service, and then they're going to ring back and ask you if you're sitting down.
Yeah, they are,
and that's it. All done.
And your credit card is just melted. Yeah, absolutely. That's my fear with them.
No, it's I totally get that. I guess when you're browsing, you go, God, that would look cool. But then when you apply a bit of thought, you go, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, it would look cool, but don't ever try and move it because no.
Ruined.
That's one of those cars you want to put on a plinth. You put 4 bolts through the chassis, up on a pole, just look at it, and there it is. That's mine, and there it sits. But don't ever try and use it as a car, because you'll just ruin it.
You've done well there, mate. I think that's a list of 7 just wonderful things.
I was quite pleased with that list, given that I threw it together fairly quickly. Yeah, I was, and yeah, I was all right with that. And we've got one more to come from you.
We do.
I'm intrigued as to what your final choice will be.
I'm about to bookend this with back to where we started, French simplicity.
Okay.
But a bit of a different take.
Yeah.
From the Renault 4. I've gone for a Peugeot 106 Rally.
Oh. Well, I can understand that. I can understand that entirely. I mean, yeah, it's just classic, isn't it?
It is.
Classic.
It's a recipe that I really like in a car.
Yeah.
Stripped out, but not daft. It's not. I wouldn't call it a track special or anything. But what they've done is they've just not filled it with shite. They've kept it nice and simple, and it's just one of those things. You're just going to thrash it, and it's going to thank you for being thrashed.
Yeah, it is. It's meant to be, isn't it? It's meant to be. Like you say, that's not a track. It's not a track focused car because those can never be anything else. But you could use that every day, and that would be absolutely fine. Yeah.
And you could look after it yourself. It's so simple.
Yeah, you could. It's a really, really strong hot hatch, isn't it? And the design was just perfect. You've got no overhangs front and rear. You've got the wheels right in the corner, so you've got brilliant handling.
They got those right, like you said. The styling, the 106 in general was a really fun-looking little car.
It was, and really popular even now. That's a very strong choice. Yeah, I mean, it's nice that we've got a hot hatch on our list because we were a bit lacking with those earlier.
Well, we're all right. You did pop a Golf GTI on, so
I did pop a Golf GTI. It was difficult not to put a Fiesta ST in there, but I don't hanker after one of those because we've already got one.
No, that's fine.
No interest in buying another one. We've already got a really good one.
So. No, that's it. The itch has been scratched in in your household there,
so we don't need to worry about that. But it was interesting when Johnny Smith interviewed Ian Callum, and he said to him, "Right, if it's all gone wrong, and and everything's had to go, and you're living in a caravan, and you've only got 500 quid to spend on a car," I think he gave him a bit more budget than that. Actually, I think he said 5. Did he say 5 or 10,000? Actually, I think he
can't remember what he said. I remember the bit though.
And he said Fiesta ST.
He
said if I could have anything, if I could only have one car forevermore, Fiesta ST, because it's one of those. It just does everything.
It's all things to all men, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And women
in
your household, yeah.
Specifically in this case. So yeah, your Peugeot's the same thing, isn't it? I mean, you love a hot hatch because it does everything.
Oh, I love that one though. It's just you look. I've been in a couple and there's nothing in them, but it's not uncomfortable. They've just not bothered putting anything unnecessary in it. And it's got steel wheels. It's
no unnecessary weight in that. No,
but like I said, there's nothing unnecessary. But at no point is it compromised. No, at no point is it an unusable car.
No, it's not an aerial atom, is it? It's you could go to the shops in that quite happily. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a track car all the time. No. That's the great thing about it, isn't it? It can be a normal car that you can drive to work as well. So yeah, that's what you want. That's a good choice. That's a really good choice, and I think that would be a popular choice.
Yeah, and it's one I've looked at quite a few times.
I'd be interested in our listeners' choices on a 10 grand choice.
Yeah, because that is, like you said at the beginning, quite generous.
It is quite generous. You can do a lot with it, as we've proven. The breadth of cars that we've chosen there on our lists. We got all sorts in there. We've got German Autobahn smashers. We've got American muscle. We've got hot hatch. We've got Italian classics. We got it all in there for 10 grand.
And not to forget, we've got the one that's going to ruin you, the Saab there.
Oh, don't keep mentioning it. No.
There's going to be one on your driveway.
Oh, but no.
Oh, dear.
Oh, you've done a bad thing there, I think.
Fingers crossed.
I cannot believe they're available for that budget. That's ridiculous.
Massive shock, but very, very Pleased to see it.
That's been overlooked.
Mm.
That's been badly overlooked. That's crazy that you can get them for that price.
Oh God, maybe it is time to pounce.
That's the surprise of our chat, I think, is that even can exist on our list, I think is unbelievable. Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.